everybody, welcome back to 𝘿𝙚𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷. Today we have a new protocol, the Spinning Arcana featuring our Gardevoir with the new Morpeko V-UNION. So we're trying to do burst field for 100x damage for each energy you discard from this Pokemon. How do we attach our energy? We have our Shining Arcana. The old Gardevoir Chilling Reign allows you to attach any energy cards from the top 2 cards of your deck. If they are basic energies, you actually get to attach to any of your Pokemon in any way you like. It is a stage 2 though. That's why we have 4 copies of Kirlia to help us do Mirage Step early on in the game to pull out as many Kirlias on the bench and then evolve on our next turn with our Pokemon Breeder. We have 2 copies of Breeder and 2 Incense in this deck to help us get Gardevoir out. No other ways of getting it other than our 4 copies Ultra Ball as usual. So Ultra Ball is the perfect card to be playing for our V-Union so that we get to discard and also summon this Pokemon. Since it's a Pokemon card, we actually get to summon it. It's not a basic, so we can't use our Quick Ball. We only get to search for our V-Union cards with either Familiar Bell, Avengers Discovery, Ultra Ball, or Great Ball. So it's quite difficult to pull out this card. If it gets stuck in our prize card, we actually have Peonia 3 copies to get it out from the prize. And Peonia can actually help us get extra copies of our Gardevoir if any of them are missing from the deck. So our main strategy here is to play routes as fast as possible, evolve into Kirlia, summon with Mirage Step, and then evolve as fast as we can with our Breeder, and then draw until we get to discard our V-Union, and then maybe play our Peonia if any of them get stuck in the prize card. If we have to discard pieces from the prize, we are forced to play this supporter, and then essentially play this V-Union at the final stage of the game when we have very few cards in the deck. Then we get to play our Recycler to attach energy as fast as we can, multiple copies to our V-Union on the bench or in the active spot. We actually get to attach in any way we like, so we don't have to switch for this card. We actually need to retreat though. If we summon this Pokemon on our turn, we actually need to think about retreating, so it's actually better to bench a few routes to prepare for a retreat so that you get to conserve your energies, because routes is only 1 energy retreat cost, whereas with your Gardevoir it requires 2 energy for the retreat. But we actually have a lot of Bird Keepers for the deck just because we need to switch early on in the game. If we get stuck with a Meowth or our Oranguru as our first active, it's gonna be bad because we want to be attacking with our Mirage Step. We want to be using Kirlia to attack as early as we can so that we get to do our abilities fast multiple times in a single turn as early on as possible. So pulling out this ability, this stage 2 card early, actually helps us draw out our V-Union, helps us discard, and also helps us charge up energy later on in the game. Obviously we need this ability to help us attach energy to our Morpeko to do burst wheel for 1 billion damage, killing a VMAX with 1 hit. So all we need to do is recycle it at just the right time. We actually have a lot of basic energy in this deck as well, so 12 copies of basic Psychic and 2 copies of our basic Lightning energy plus 2 Aurora just in case we get our Lightning early. So having our Lightning energy actually doesn't work for this attack just because it's type specific. You need a Psychic energy for Mirage Step to work. So Kirlia requires Psychic, Brainwave also requires Psychic energy, only does 30 extra damage for each Psychic energy attached to this Pokemon. So we can also attack with Gardevoir, doing a decent amount of damage with our Brainwave, collecting the first few prize before we pull out our V-Union, just because this card is definitely going to have a late entrance. So we can't actually play this Pokemon that easily just because we need to discard all 4 copies to be able to play a V-Union, as we all know. So it's very difficult to pull that off. We need to actually draw them out before we can do the discard with either our Meowth or Ultra Balls, plus Quick Ball, Aurora energy. We also have our supporter cards to discard as well. 1 copy of Milo, 1 Research, and 1 Zinnia. So what I'm trying to say is that it's going to take a few turns before you can pull out your V-Union. By that time, you would actually fare better attacking with your Gardevoir to collect the first few prize, so that if any pieces get stuck in your prize card, you actually don't need to rely too much on playing too many Peonias, wasting your supporter cards just to play that 1 card to search your prize card constantly just to get all of those pieces out. We actually need to evolve at the same time, so it's a lot of things we need to do, a lot of things we need to think about. So it may be wiser to sacrifice a few Gardevoirs to do a early knockout so that we get to collect the first few prize and then finish off the game with our Morpeko V-Union, burst field for the last 3 prize, collecting a VMAX knockout to win the game. So that is the main strategy for this deck. If we want to keep Gardevoir though, they may actually play boss, kill off your Gardevoir after you sacrifice a few copies, then you don't actually have enough to spare. But we do have 1 copy of Rare Candy in this deck to help us fast evolve our routes just in case they kill off too many Gardevoirs. We actually have that failsafe. We also have a couple of failsafe for this deck as well. 1 copy of Big Charm to help our Morpeko survive a bit longer. 1 copy of Raihan just in case we don't get enough Gardevoirs to attach energy. If we have 1 Gardevoir in play, that is actually enough. With your energy recycler, you can actually attach up to 2 energy with a single Gardevoir if you are smart enough. If you have nothing but energy card in your deck, because we actually can pull that off, drawing everything out, and then basically shuffle everything, all energies back, having nothing but energies inside the deck to attach up to 2 energies with 1 copy, and then all we need to do is Raihan for that extra 1 energy. We get to kill a VMAX with 4 energy attachment in a single turn, doing burst field for the final knockout. But we don't actually have any 𝓿𝐿𝓚 in this deck, and if they killed most of our Gardevoirs, we can't actually draw enough cards to empty our deck of all non-energy cards to attach enough energy in a single turn to do burst wheel for enough damage for the knockout. So it may actually be wiser to save all of your Gardevoirs for later on in the game to collect at least 2 VMAX knockout with a single Morpeko. We can actually do that though. We are able to pull off double VMAX knockout with a single Morpeko V-UNION just because we have that one copy of Big Charm to survive a single turn and then do burst wheel twice in a row, just because we don't need to switch for this ability to work. We don't have to get our Bird Keeper out, just because Gardevoir lets you attach the energy to your Pokemon in any way you like. That means Morpeko gets to stay in the active spot while you attach energy every single turn with multiple copies of your Shining Arcana ability. So if we have enough Gardevoirs in play late stage in the game, we can actually look at the top 4 or even top 6 cards of our deck and attach all basic energy cards we find there to our Morpeko, doing at least 4 or even 500 damage with this card. We also have that one extra copy of Rare Candy to help us evolve yet another Gardevoir to do Shining Arcana more times, one extra Raihan as well, as I said earlier, to help us cheat that extra 1 energy to do 100 more damage with our burst wheel, just in case if they boss or snipe our bench or if they kill all of our Gardevoirs. We actually have Raihan to save us. We also have our Oranguru 1 copy to help us swap the top card of our deck with the basic energy in our hand if we have multiple copies to spare, just to guarantee that extra 1 energy attached with Gardevoir. Not only that, Oranguru also helps you put Kirlia back into your deck so that you actually get to summon more copies onto your bench with your Mirage step. If you have other copies of your Kirlia in your hand, you can't actually put them onto your bench with this attack, so they need to be inside your deck to be able to be summoned through this effect. So for our setup cards, we have 1 Level Ball and 1 Quick Ball for routes. Not a lot of basic summons just because we are playing only 5 copies of basic Pokemons in this deck, so 3 routes, 1 Meowth and 1 Oranguru, that's it. But we do have 4 Ultra Balls and 1 Pokekit to get any Pokemon that we want, 2 Pokemon Breeder, 2 Evolution Incense and 1 Level Ball to get Kirlia, so that we get to do Mirage Step as early on as possible and pull out as many Gardevoirs into play to do Shining Arcana fast and do multiple draws every single turn so that we get to play our V-Union at just the right time. Finally, we have 1 copy of Boss Order for the extra power play, 1 Marnie to put cards back into the deck, 2 Bird Keeper and 1 Escaper for the switch. So that's all for the deck. Let's go ahead for gameplay! So let's go ahead for our first game. We're up against Mew VMAX. Let's hope we win against Mew. Quite a standard Mew with your Genesect, Meloetta. They got Elisa. I think they actually attacked on their first turn going second. I'm not sure. I actually forgot about this game. So let's see what they're gonna do. Meloetta is quite broken though, because Melodious Echo, I mean, you're quite likely to have all 4 Fusion Strike energies inside your deck, because it's quite a recent special energy. So for all of those recent expansions, your special energy like Single Strike, Fusion Strike, Rapid Strike, I don't think Battle Styles is that recent, but for all of the standard special energies, it's actually quite easy to pull them out, and it's very unlikely for you to have even 1 copy of your Single Strike, Rapid Strike or Fusion Strike energy inside your prize card. I'm not sure why, it's just very unlikely for you to have any 1 copy inside the prize. I don't know the reason for that. Because it's quite easy for them to do Elisa twice, to do 280 damage with Melodious Echo, which is quite crazy. On your second turn, if you go second, you get to do 280. That's madness, yo. 280 plus Choice Belt is enough to kill a regular VMAX already. Morpeko V-UNION is actually 310 HP. So without the Big Charm, I actually almost conceded here. I'm not sure what happened. I almost decided to concede because it's actually a Mew VMAX. We got no bench Pokemon. We got evolution cards, 3 Gardevoirs, 2 Breeder, and 1 Ultra Ball. So I was actually getting cold feet trying to concede early, which is a bit ridiculous. But I decided to stay on for a bit to see what happens. Because sometimes if there's, if you have no hope of winning, might as well just concede. But I suppose they attach to the other Pokemon. So if they attach to the Meloetta, they could actually do a switch. If they switch, they can Melodious Echo for the knockout. So Melodious Echo does like 120 damage with the double turbo. They should have done that, but I suppose they wanted to go for a long game. They don't want to play it too easy. Because if you knock out your opponent on the first turn, it's kind of like a very boring game. Might as well just drag it out and see how strong your opponent is. I think they're trying to test out our deck. They're trying to see what we're playing and, you know, whether our deck is any good in the standard format and what to expect in the ladder. Because you could have all sorts of players there, right? You could have all sorts of players pulling out different decks, rogue decks like mine. I prefer rogue decks actually because you actually get to play a lot of different cards. You get to do a lot of things with your supports, and colorful supports, I would say, because we're playing Gardevoir with our Shining Arcana. That's like the most colorful yet. I prefer to explore creativity rather than just blindly using, you know, a powerful deck. I mean, if you are playing Arceus V-STAR or Mew VMAX or anything that's hyper powerful, hijacked, muscular, and, you know, on steroids all the time, I don't think it's any fun. It's not really that fun anymore if you play it every single game, like for every tournament, for every competition, for every, you know, for every match that you're playing with PTCGO. Make sure you explore different territories, like at least try something different for a change. Don't always go for the powerful ones. Like, it's okay if the deck is not that strong, as long as you get to have a bit of fun with the deck. If you can win a meta deck with a ridiculous deck, like a cast form. I actually built a cast form, which is a common card with 𝓿𝓼𝓲𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓲. If you can bid, and that was actually quite strong actually. We bid quite a lot of meta decks. If you guys want to check it out, it's in my channel. But if you can build a strong deck from a silly card, that's gonna be like a big deal. It's gonna actually make a huge... It's gonna make people turn their heads, you know? They're gonna be like, what? This guy, this silly card could actually beat a Arceus. Like, how is that even possible? Right? We want to be cheating the system. We want to be finding loopholes to this game to see if, you know, the developers are really smart enough to to force people to play all of those overpowered cards. Because there's always a solution, you know? Even if you make sure other cards are so useless that players have no choice but to go for Inteleon, players have no choice but to go for Bibarel or Chinchino, cards like that, they fluffy, then, you know, it's quite silly, I would say, because if you're forcing people to play those cards, might as well just put them in prison. It's basically Poke Prison, right? You're forcing people to do nothing all day but use Arceus and shoot themselves in the brain, because that deck doesn't require any brains. You don't need to be smart to play that deck. I mean, obviously the gameplay is a bit different. You have to think a lot about, you know, what decision to make all the time. I should actually look at the game right now. I'm talking too much, but it's fun to play different cards because you don't want to be brain dead, right? So we actually got 2 Meowth in play. We got 2 in this deck just because I was a bit scared of not being able to discard fast enough. So this list is a bit different from the final version. We did an escape rope so that we get to save our Gardevoir on the bench, but they're probably going to do a boss or even a cross switcher. Quite easy to pull those cards with a Genesect. So they got Rose Tower. We are not playing Path to the Peak, so Genesect is probably going to draw them at least 2 copies of the cross switcher. If they don't get boss, they need to switch though. I think they probably have air balloons in their deck. So let's just prepare the second Gardevoir. I'm not sure if it's worth attaching energies at all, but they're definitely gonna boss us. We should have actually done our routes. We should be benching our routes now, and then they could play an Avery though. That's the, you know, that's the killer card for this deck. If they play Avery, you're gonna be forced to discard either your Meowth or a Gardevoir, which is horrible because we need all copies. We need everything on the bench. We cannot afford to discard anything, otherwise we're gonna be completely screwed. So we did Peonia to get a Pokekit. We're gonna save the boss order on position number 3. So point number 3 is boss, and we're gonna get it out at just the right time. We're gonna try to draw it at, you know, when we need it. Okay, so for a Morpeko, you can actually kill it quite easily with a Mew. So Mew VMAX does 300 plus damage with like a billion power tablets and that choice belt. So the one with the choice belt is the one that we need to kill fast, because I think they discarded the other choice belt. I'm pretty sure they have only 2 copies of the tool card, but you never know. They have 15 cards left in the deck, so I think they would have probably discarded a few of the tablets and a few of the tool cards. So if we kill off this one, they're gonna have to pull out another tool card and 3 more power tablets to be able to knock out our Morpeko with 1 hit, because it's 310 HP. So they need 120 extra damage. In addition to the Techno Blast base damage, plus the double turbo reduction. I'm not sure if they can do it. It's just nice though, it's just right. 120 plus 210 minus 20, so that's 100 plus 210, 310, exactly enough to kill off Morpeko, but they need 4 though. 4 damage boost, 4 cards for the next Mew. If we can kill this one off with a burst wheel before they pull out the second one. So let's hope they don't have anything on the bench. No Mew on the bench is great. That means we get to kill off this VMAX and then have the other one, prepare for the other one with a boss. But we haven't discarded enough pieces yet, so it's gonna be quite late until we get to pull out our V-Union. So let's just do our Confuse Ray this turn. To buy ourselves a bit more time, we need to somehow discard our V-Union. So it's gonna be quite difficult. I think we're probably gonna do a Bird Keeper this turn and then Confuse Ray, see what they do. So we don't actually have a rod for this. This list is a bit different. No rods, no rare candy. I actually, recommend either experimenting or swapping. I would recommend for you guys to experiment for yourself, whether to put rare candy or rod, because sometimes, throughout this 3 games, I actually have 3 games in this video. So some of the games I play a rod, some of the games I play a rare candy, but I actually prefer the rare candy because you actually get to evolve a Ralts. We actually have 3 copies of that basic Pokemon, so it's quite easy to rare candy evolve just because you are drawing so many cards into your hand. Rod is actually quite clunky just because you are shuffling back the stage 1. You have to evolve into a Kirlia before you get to do your 4th Gardevoir. Obviously the first Kirlia is going to be dead because they're going to do a knockout after the Mirage step. After you do your first Mirage step, they're definitely going to kill your Kirlia on the active spot. So that means you have only 3 Kirlias for the evolution to transform into Gardevoir on the next turn with your Pokemon Breeder, and then do Shining Arcana up to 6 cards in your hand. But 6 draw every single turn is not bad. But for the last evolution, for the last Gardevoir, we actually need to either get it out from the prize. If it's already inside the deck, we actually need to do a rare candy or a rod to evolve the final copy. So we want to be maximizing the amount of evolution we get to do. If they boss knock it out, we actually get to save ourselves by bringing out another Gardevoir into play with either a rod or a rare candy. So that's why I prefer rare candy, just because you get to do a surprise evolution, essentially. Because having a Ralts on the bench is not always guaranteed that you're going to evolve into a stage 2. But if you can, within a single turn, do an evolution, that would be great. Because Kirlia actually takes too long. You need to bench a Ralts, evolve into a Kirlia, and by then they would probably have bossed you or something. Snipe the bench. Do a... what's it called? Dragapult VMAX. Do a Max Phantom to kill off your Ralts with a Quick Shoot. So, or your Kirlia with a Quick Shoot. So I prefer rare candy, actually. If they kill your, if you're up against Dragapult VMAX, make sure you bench more than 1 Ralts if you want to evolve with a rare candy, just because they can kill off that 1 copy on the bench if you have nothing else. So if we have 2 Ralts, we can actually evolve one or the other, depending on which one they target. So always have a fail-safe mechanism for anything that you do. We actually got an electric energy, which is no good for us. We have to save that. Maybe put a Marnie. Use our Marnie at the last minute to put it back into the deck so that we get to, or even discard and then shuffle it back into the deck so that we get to attach it to our Morpeko. We only need one lightning energy though, so we can actually attach it from our hand and then use our recycler for any other energy. Shuffle up to 5 energy cards into your deck, and then Shining Arcana for extra energies. So if you don't have 5 energy in your discard pile, if you have way too many energies in your hand, you can actually use your Meowth to discard and your Ultra Ball, Aurora Energy, Research, Zinnia, all of your trainer cards to discard your basic energies, so they get to shuffle them back into your deck with your energy recycler before doing Shining Arcana. That way you get to attach even more energies and do more damage with your burst wheel. We only need 4 discards though. 4 energy discards with your burst wheel, 4 energies on your Morpeko to do VMAX knockout, unless if they play like a 𝓿𝓼𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷 with a Big Charm and a Abomasnow in play. That means they have up to 410 HP. 410, that's like the highest HP for a VMAX, with all of the HP boost. But there's gonna be a Kricketune for the next set, so Kricketune is gonna boost Grass Pokemon's HP by 40, and VMAX is gonna be crazy though. If you have a Grass Pokemon with 330 HP, I think Rillaboom VMAX is 330, I'm not sure. The non-Rapid Strike one. Celebi VMAX is only 310 though, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You got your Venusaur VMAX, 330 as well. So with a Kricketune and a Big Charm is actually only 400, yeah, exactly 400 HP, so it's not quite a lot, is it? Grass Pokemon doesn't have high HP, it's just that they heal a lot. They have a lot of ways of recovery. With your, we actually did a Confuse Ray, quite interestingly. With your Celebi VMAX, Curative Forest, you have your Star Bloom, Shaymin V-Star, and Cheryl is actually a grass trainer, I think. I think she has grass Pokemons, I'm not sure. She has a Blissey, but I think she has other grass types as well. Oh well. She has green hair, right? So okay, they are not doing much though. They have 11 cards left in the deck. I think they're trying to save their power tablets. They're trying to get the right cards out and, play it at the right time to kill off the V-Union at the last minute, because they actually have 4 prize cards left. They need to kill 4, either collect, 3 prize right now and then boss the last prize to kill it when we pull out our V-Union, or to just delay the game until we pull out the V-Union for a one-hit knockout, killing our Morpeko for the last 3 prize. So it really is down to what they prefer to do. We have to counter that, whatever they choose. We have to somehow think up a strategy to defeat their technique. I don't think they can OHKO us though. If we manage to kill this Mew right now, I think it's gonna look really good for us. Not this turn obviously, but we have to somehow wait for our Pokemon to get knocked out, wait for one of our bench spot to open up for our V-Union, because we actually have all 4 pieces now. We got Morpeko ready to go, but we don't have any bench spot for it. So we're forced to wait. We actually did a Peonia to get back our boss, because we needed to target that Mew, just in case they kill us with a Meloetta. If they knock us out with Meloetta, we can actually pull out the V-Union, retreat, Shining Arcana, Energy Recycler before Shining Arcana obviously, and then boss the Mew VMAX, kill it with 4 energies, and that's it, right? If they attack us with Meloetta, Melodious Echo, plus the Choice Belt, they can actually do 280 plus 30 is enough, right? They just need 1 Choice Belt or 1 Power Tablet. If they have all 4 Fusion Strike energies in play, they can kill us quite easily. So Meloetta is going to be their saving grace. Meloetta is going to do so high damage, it's going to kill Morpeko with 1 hit. For a 1 prize card, look at that. 1 prize decks are insane, but Meloetta is the most crazy card ever. I don't know. Because they can always choose to spread their energies. If they attach the Fusion Strike 1 to each of their Pokemon, you're basically screwed, right? Then it's not going to be discarded that easily. And Fan of Waves doesn't do anything because they're going to just pull it back out. Unless you do like Crushing Hammer or attacks that do the discard. So we chose to do Oranguru for the knockout hit, but it's only doing 50 damage to the Oricorio. We need another strike to kill it, but I don't think we're trying to kill them. We're trying to bait them to attack us with a Mew, or to at least kill us off with anything else like a Meloetta. I'm gonna be quite sad if they win with a Meloetta, because that card is very frustrating. I mean, it does so much damage for a 1 price card, a basic Pokemon at that. It's insane. So we're just gonna kill off the Oricorio. They decided not to retreat. They decided not to do anything. We have 4 cards left inside our deck. I think they may be planning on decking us out. That could be their plan. But we have energy recyclers. So it appears they are quite afraid of the V-Union. They may be a bit scared of that Morpeko, because we can do a one-hit knockout quite easily, and their next attacker is going to be in trouble. If they are intending on using 2 Mews to attack, they need the choice belt. Either that or pull off a quadruple power tablet. I don't think it's possible to do 4 power tablets in a single turn. I mean, anything is possible, obviously, but I'm pretty sure they had to discard at least 1 copy just now for Genesect to draw enough cards for them to sustain their strategy, to sustain the momentum for a Mew VMAX deck. You need to discard a few of your item cards, some of your item resources with your 𝐿𝓻𝓬𝓪𝓷𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, just so you get to draw faster and basically get the right cards out for your Mew VMAX to attack fast, for you to get your special energy cards and stuff like that. Because if you have too many cards that you need for later inside your hand, you're forced to discard a few just to trade off for a couple of draws, to get your flow going, rather than getting stuck with your a bad hand. It's better just to discard them. So Genesect doesn't give you a choice, really. It doesn't give you a choice unless if you play like switching cups or something that silly item cards that allows you to remove them without without just removing other cards from your hand, without causing a permanent change to your deck, a permanent change to your resources, because sometimes you are forced to discard the things that you need. I'm repeating myself a lot, but I tend to do that. It's just, I really want to get my message across sometimes, and it's better just to over-explain than under-explain, so that everyone's on the same page and nobody misses anything. Okay, we got our V-Union out. Now we just need to make sure we can kill off this Mew VMAX. I'm pretty sure it's possible. We just need to retreat. We don't need to do a boss, so might as well do a Bird Keeper. We don't have a rare candy. We have only 2 Gardevoir, so we better be attaching at least 3 energies. We have to do our recycler though. I think it's better to... We did our first one just now. We shuffled back 5 energies. I think we have only 2 cards left in the deck, and we shuffled back 5 energies. So that means we actually have like 5 out of 7 cards that are energies. And we got 4 energies with double Arcana. So we got all 4 energies with 2 Gardevoir, which is insane though. That means we have the freedom to attach 1 from our hand to either one of the Gardevoirs to prepare for a knockout. We can actually do brainwave to collect the final knockout with Genesect, but if they kill our Morpeko though, that's the end, because they have 3 prize cards left. If they somehow pull out a Elisa and Choice Belt, they can kill us quite easily. We have no Big Charm for this list. Unfortunately, this is one of the earlier lists. So we don't have a Big Charm, no Raihan, no Rare Candy. So those tiny copies, tiny changes are actually the optimized version. I actually had to play a lot of games before I realized that those small tweaks actually make a big difference, and it's gonna make the deck so much stronger if you have that one copy of Rare Candy, Raihan, and Big Charm. But for this list is actually recorded much earlier, so I'm sorry to say that this deck is not that strong for this game, but the final version is very, very strong. I guarantee you that it has at least 60% of success, especially if they play VMAXs. It has like probably 65 or at least 70%. Sorry about that. My computer is actually, my headphones are down and I need to close the sound of my computer. Sorry about that. So let's just get back into the game. So we drew our first 3 prize, we drew 4 prizes now. Now we just need to kill a Genesect. If we have a boss, we just need to get 3 energies onto our Morpeko, and then kill off the Genesect with a burst field for 300 damage. So we don't need to attach that many energies, but we actually have enough to kill off the Mew VMAX. Let's just do the Mew VMAX. I don't think we need a boss. If they try to kill us with a Meloetta, if they pass a turn doing Meloetta's Echo, we actually have a boss to kill off either the Genesect or the Mew. But I'm eyeing for that Mew knockout just because it is a VMAX and it is the most powerful card in this deck. So let's kill the Mew VMAX. If they keep it on the bench, we're gonna do Energy Recycler, Shining Arcana, and knock out the Mew. So do they have the Elisa? Do they have the Choice Belt? They actually played 2 power tablets. Are they gonna have enough inside the deck to pull off a V-UNION knockout? 310 HP, exactly the same as their Mew VMAX. So both players have the same max HP for their Pokemons. Morpeko looks a bit cute, doesn't it? It's very cute, obviously, but it's actually quite powerful. I'm pretty happy to say that this card is showing up strong in the standard format. Doing OHKO is quite easy, and they did not knock us out. So they only did 250, which is only 40 extra damage just because they have a double turbo. So they need 2 more damage boosts. They need 60 more damage. Choice Belt, another power tablet. Otherwise, they can't kill us off. So no Elisa, no Fusion Strike Energy. Surprise, surprise, they actually did not do Melodious Echo for the knockout. So we did our Energy Recycler, Shining Arcana right now, attach the Aurora Energy, and we can actually discard before the Energy Recycler, but we actually have enough already inside the discard pile, more than enough to shuffle back everything and have nothing but energy cards inside the deck. Now we get to do 500 damage to kill off the Mew. 500 is insane. 500 damage though, look at that. I mean, it's the highest damage output for any card. The best OHKO attacker in format for sure. I'm loving this V-UNION so much because it allows you to do so much damage. I think Sableye and Crabominable are the only ones that are up to match to this Morpeko, just because they do kind of the same amount of damage. If you have like 7 damage counter on your opponent's active, you can actually do up to 600 damage, I think. I'm not sure though. Up to 500 plus damage with your Crabominable. So it does 60x plus 90 base. So 6 multiplied by 7, 420 plus 90 base is 510, my bad. 510 plus the 7 damage counters though, that's 580, right? So 58 damage counters on their active Pokemon. So Crabominable is insane. It does so much damage. But you need to place damage counters though, which is a bit of a hassle. I don't quite like that anymore. I used to love Crabominable, but now that I've played it enough times, I realize that it's just way too clunky. It needs, you need Melanie, you need so much water energy on that one card, and it gets knocked out so easily. It's weak towards metal type, and you need your Cape of Toughness, you need your energy cards, you need your, abilities to place damage counters. You need way too many supports. Way too many supports to make that one attack work. So, I don't know. I suppose every card has its conditions, but I think 𝘿𝐿𝐷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷 is way too conditional. It's way too fat and it's just trash, in my opinion. Now that I've played it enough times, I realize that it's not good enough. So we discarded one piece. We're gonna get maybe another piece. We failed to search the deck though, because we don't have the right item yet. We're gonna do Incense for Kirlia, while at the same time checking how many pieces we have. We have to make sure we have, you know, enough copies inside the deck. If we don't, we actually have a Peonia in our hand already. So we can play Incense Peonia to get the final pieces out from the deck, from the prize card. And then discard with Meowth and Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is great because you actually get to search for another copy. You get to discard any copies you have in hand and then search for another copy and discard with your Meowth. So Ultra Ball is like the best. But they did a Marnie, look at that. This Marnie actually helped us though, as you'll see later. It actually helped us. But I actually prefer to keep that hand for at least 2 turns. If you're keeping a Gardevoir hand, you have to keep it for 2 turns though. So I don't think your opponent's gonna be that kind to give you a 2 turns without a Marnie. Because we can't actually evolve to the stage 2 before doing our Mirage step. We have to do Kirlia first. So that means we need to pass 2 turns before we're able to play those Gardevoirs from our hand. And by then, they would probably have done their Marnie. So if you have any copies in your hand, don't hope for them to stay for that long. Okay. Inteleon. They're playing a Shady Dealings one, but I'm pretty sure they have the Quick Shoot as well. So they are doing a multi-snipe crazy damage counter attacker. Damage counter with Max Phantom, Horror Energy, O Cemetery, and Quick Shoot. And they're healing as well with Indeedee, surprisingly. It's a Dragapult heal deck, which is actually matching us really well. We are doing an OHKO, so we have no worries about that Indeedee healing their Pokemon. We can't actually attack with Gardevoir, that means we are not able to do a knockout that easily if we are attacking with Brainwave. So our best bet is to do double knockouts with our Morpeko. Either do double VMAX knockout or a VMAX and a V knockout. We can actually boss the Indeedee and then kill off anything on the bench with an Escape Rope Brainwave. Brainwave to either kill the Indeedee or any 1 prize cards on the bench. So boss and Escape Rope is going to help us a lot to collect the final 3 prizes with a V knockout and a 1 prize knockout. Okay, Dragapult. They actually decided to spread the damage counters, which is quite interesting. That means Kirlia is only 80 HP though. I'm surprised. I thought it was 90 HP at least. But 80 actually allows you to play your level ball. Not that strong though, because 80, if you're up against damage counter decks like Mimikyu VMAX, it doesn't really last long. Gardevoir only 140 HP, but it's not bad. It's better than Butterfree at least. I'm happy with that. Okay, we got a Raihan. Are we gonna get a piece with the Raihan? We actually decided to put Gardevoir in the active spot for some reason. I think we were trying to attack with it, or decided, planning to do so, but at the last minute we decided against that idea, against that strategy, and went for a switch to the Meowth, because I don't think we need a Meowth. We got so many discarders. That's why we're only playing 1 copy for the final list, because we don't actually need to rely on it too much. We got so many ways of discarding our hand. Research, Milo, Zinnia, Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, Aurora Energy. I think that's it though. So 1 Meowth actually adds to the variety, but it's not, I don't think 2 copies is necessary. Shining Arcana. We got Incense with the draw. Now we get to do Ultra Ball for another Gardevoir. We're gonna discard the level ball. We actually get to retreat this turn, but I don't think we can attack. We should be getting the 𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷. Retreat and then attach energy if we can with Shining Arcana to the 𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷 so that we get to do Confuse Ray. So let's just discard the Aurora energy. I'm checking to see if I have any more lightning inside the deck. So we got one more lightning and one more Aurora energy. It could be in the prize card though, so we should actually be checking the energies. But we have Energy Recycler, so no need to worry. Energy Recycler is going to help us retrieve, shuffle back those lightning energies and giving us a burst wheel hit with Morpeko. So nothing to worry about. We got 2 copies Recycler inside the deck, as we saw. We even have a Raihan to put those, reverse attach the lightning energy to Morpeko. Okay, we're gonna retreat. We actually didn't get the energy with Gardevoir, so we are forced to retreat to Meowth and then Confuse Ray on the next turn. I don't think we're attaching to 𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷. We have to retreat. It's better to do that. They could do boss though. I think they're probably gonna do boss, right? I suppose I was preparing for that. Because Inteleon deck, Shady Dealings. And we decided to keep it in the active spot. That was quite silly. We decided to save the energy in our hand because I suppose I'm afraid of not having energies from top deck, but we can actually draw with Shining Arcana, so we should have done a retreat, forcing them to waste their boss orders, I suppose, at least, because now we're giving them a free knockout. Otherwise they're gonna be forced to waste their boss. So it's always better to retreat even though your opponent has, a very easy route to boss orders. You can still force them to discard those supporter cards and play less of the other supports. So now we're actually giving them free Shady Dealings for other cards. Shady Dealings for another Indeedee, surprisingly. They should be benching a Dragapult though. Right? They should be benching a Dragapult. I mean, I'm pretty sure they saw Morpeko. They saw us discarding those Morpeko. Why are they benching another Indeedee? It makes no sense, right? We're doing a one-hit knockout. Maybe they're forcing us not to attack with Gardevoir. They're forcing us to bring out our V-Union, which is, I don't think, the best route to success playing a Dragapult, because they can't kill the V-Union that easily. Their best bet is to kill off our one prize cards. So we should not have benched the Meowth or the 𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷 because we actually have 3 more prizes in play, and if we had 2 prizes, if we have 2 Gardevoir left, they actually can't collect all the prize cards. They are forced to kill our V-Union. That's what I'm trying to say. They're forced to kill the Morpeko for the final prize, which is gonna be quite annoying for them. We actually got our final piece from the prize. I think that's the final piece. So let's put the Peonia back, just because we have no more need for them. We're gonna put a breeder as well. And so always count your prize card, your opponent's prize cards as well, because you can actually force them to, you can make them do a lot of things, You can make them kill your V-Union when they actually have 1 prize remaining. So collect the last prize for a VMAX knockout. Collect the last prize by killing a V-Union, which is a big deal. Unless if they have like Kirlia to pull out a V. We don't have any V cards though. So we have no supporting V cards, no Crobat, no Lumineon. So they can't actually use Kirlia for the damage counter placement. Okay. Confused. They need to switch. They're probably gonna. They got a boss, which is horrible. We are down to 1 Gardevoir, which is ridiculously sad. Do we have a rod for this deck? Oh, they didn't kill it though, because it's 140 HP. Oh, that's sad. Yep, they're gonna get Inteleon anytime soon, so we better be summoning Morpeko this turn. Make full use of it. Make full use of the Gardevoir, because it's gonna die the next turn for sure. With either Max Phantom or a Quick Shoot. They're probably gonna do Quick Shoot quite easily. So, let's Bird Keeper and then retreat to the Morpeko. That's gonna give us a free retreat. And Recycler at the last minute. We're gonna discard that piece and a Research maybe. We chose to discard the energy. And then get the... We actually have 2 more pieces to discard. So this is quite frustrating. We're gonna do Shining... We can't do Shining Arcana first though. We got Aurora Energy. That means we're forced to discard with our Special Energy. We're forced to attach from our hand, wasting that 1 energy attachment. But that's fine, we're gonna do it. Just because we get to attach our Lightning type energy with our Energy Recycler, so I don't think we have to worry too much. Is it smart though? I don't think it's too wise, but we don't really have a choice because we only have 2 Gardevoirs. We can't afford to use the Shining Arcana until after we pull out the V-Union. And there's no way to discard other than with your... We actually have a Raihan though. We haven't played our supporter cards. So we can do our Raihan on the Morpeko, just because they did a knockout on the last turn, I think. Oh, they didn't do a knockout, my bad. They didn't do a knockout on the last turn. So they hit the Gardevoir, but they did not kill anything with the Max Phantom, so we can't use Raihan. Sadly, we may not get Lightning Energy this turn, and if we don't, we only have 2 copies of the basic Lightning, and we already attached from our hand, so even if we get the other Aurora Energy, it's going to be useless. We got no Lightning, so we are not able to do anything this turn, but we can actually do all you can eat to draw cards until we have 7, until we have 10, my bad. So all you can eat is our only option, because it's already confused. We can't use Brainwave. I think it's better just to draw cards with our Morpeko and, you know, do a knockout on the next turn. It's quite funny though that they haven't retreat or switched yet, because they got Inteleon Shady for that. I mean, they should be doing Shady dealings for a switch card, a Bird Keeper or something, and a retreat with 1 energy. I don't think they have that many energies to spare, or even a switch card, because they're playing Scoop Up Nets, right? Scoop Up Net for the switch. And then if Dragapult get affected by special conditions, I don't think they have any counter for that, which is a bit sad. Because Inteleon actually confines the, the amount of cards you get to play for your deck. You need to fit in your Incense, your Stage 2 card, your Stadium, your Tool card. They have so many different evolutions as well. A VMAX and, 2 different Inteleons. Multiple Indeedis. Oh, they have a switch, but he used it. Is that an air balloon? Did I just see an air balloon? It doesn't really work though, does it? If they retreat and scoop it up, they can actually attack with the Dragapult without the confusion, and all they need is to attach an energy, right? So they should get a Fall Crystal. They should have retreated though. It's just quite silly to flip the coin, because they flipped the coin on the last turn. They got a heads. I suppose they are getting cocky this turn and hoping for that lucky heads as well. Should just retreat, right? Retreat, scoop up. They got the scoop up net though. I don't think they have the energy, sadly. They did a research draw for 7 cards. They should be retreating. But now we have clean Morpeko, no damage controls on it. We actually get to survive as well. We got the rare candy. We actually have a rare candy for this list. So this is the final version of the list. I'm glad to say that we got 3 Gardevoirs into play this turn. And we get to play the final Arcana. We actually got no Lightning Energies though. But we got our Marnie, that's fine. We got our Marnie, and we're not going to do our Recycler just yet. We're going to do Marnie for a 5 draw. A Penta draw to get the Lightning Energy out. And then kill off the Dragapult with that 1 energy. So Big Charm to the Gardevoir, just because they are not able to kill our V-Union that easily. And if they boss, they're gonna need a little bit more to kill off that Gardevoir because it has just enough HP to survive a quick shoot and a max phantom. 130 is not enough, they need another quick shoot. And if they quick shoot that Gardevoir, the one with the tool card, they can't quick shoot the other. That means, you know, they're gonna need another turn to collect the final prize. So that Big Charm is gonna help out a lot against Dragapult, against anything that tries to kill your V-Union with one hit. So Morpeko is surviving at least one turn to do another burst wheel for another 3 prize. If you're lucky, if you're up against double VMAXs or even double V-Union, they could be playing 2 Union. I don't think anyone, you know, anyone's brave enough to play 2 V-Unions in the deck. I actually built a deck featuring 2 different V-Unions though. Greninja and Mewtwo, I put those 2 in a deck once and it actually worked quite well. It's not too bad, but that was like before Brilliant Stars. I think it was before Fusion Strike as well, before like 2 sets prior, so it was strong during that time, but I'm not sure if it's strong right now, just because, you know, all the cards are quite different now and we have so many different strategies out in play. We got our Manaphy blocking Greninja, so it's not that strong anymore. But Mewtwo gets to place damage counters though, killing off Manaphy and all of your support, bench supports with 16 damage counters, which is crazy. Size Explosion. And they just got their Dragapult way too late. We get to do our boss. It's better to do Electric Ball first, so we're gonna do Electric Ball. They actually killed our Pokemon on their turn, so even if it's damage counters, as long as it's knocked out, Raihan allows you to use it. If it's knocked out during Pokemon checkup, that means if they kill you with special conditions, then you can't use Raihan, but if they kill you with damage counters, you still get to play it. Okay, we're gonna do Escape, my bad, for Energy Recycler. We actually have exactly 5 energies in the discard pile, so let's just shuffle it right now. And then Shining Arcana to get everything, to get up to 4 energies on Morpeko, but we just need to draw 2. I don't think it's smart to draw too many. We just need 2 cards, and then if they play Crushing Hammer though, it's wiser to, but I don't think they can kill 2 Gardevoirs in a single turn. I don't think it's possible. They don't even have a Dragapult on the bench, so no Scoop Up Net. They have an error in planning, I would say, because they should have benched the Dragapult much earlier. I suppose they weren't expecting us to kill that Dragapult with one hit because they have a Big Charm and everything, but they should really be looking at what we are playing. We are playing a Morpeko, like come on, we can do a one-hit KO. So we chose to do Electric Ball, keeping our energy cards for 160 damage, killing off a Water type for double the damage. So now we just need to boss anything, a Indeedee or the Dragapult. Choice Belt, not enough. Jet Assault, can they do Jet Assault? If they Raihan, they can quite easily do that. So Jet Assault for 140 plus Choice Belt 30 plus Inteleon 20, so 170 plus 80 is not enough. They need 60 more damage. 6 more damage counters. If they pass this turn, they're done. Without a Crushing Hammer, they're screwed. The game has ended because we got 3 energies, we got our Burst Wheel for the final knockout, we got a boss in our hand as well. They have to attack with Dragapult, they have no choice. They should be keeping it on the bench though. We actually have 2 prize cards remaining, so they should be putting a Sobble or anything on the active spot. A 1 prize card definitely. And then try to do a double Gardevoir knockout with Max Phantom on the next turn. That would be the smarter move, right? But we actually have a Big Charm, which is going to save us a lot. So if they, for example, do Max Phantom on the tool card, they can actually kill it with Quick Shoot Inteleon and then Quick Shoot the other. They actually have another Drizzile on the bench, so they could actually evolve a a second Inteleon, and then quick shoot the other plus the Max Phantom 5 damage counter. I think is enough. So 5 plus 60, 110 plus 2 is no, oh, it's not actually enough. But they actually spent quite a lot of damage counters on the Morpeko already. So I'm pretty sure if they did the other strategy, they would have killed 2 Gardevoirs by now. But they didn't bench the Dragapult though. I don't think it's possible still, because they don't have the VMAX, right? They need the VMAX, and by the time they get their VMAX, it's already too late. We got a boss in our hand. So even if they do that, even if they try to kill both Gardevoirs, it's still a done deal. We still win the game. So now we're up against a Arceus coin. Not sure what they're playing. It's a Rapid Strike deck, right? I remember it now. So they're playing Blaziken with Zeraora. So a classic Rapid Strike deck, but not that strong anymore just because you have your Manaphy. We are not playing any Manaphy for this deck, so let's test it out against a Rapid Strike, full-on Rapid Strike deck. They have Urshifu in here as well. They got Urshifu, Blaziken, Zeraora for a multi-bench strike, multi-price deck. Okay, we're gonna do Ultra Ball for Kirlia, and then Mirage Step on the first, on the second turn actually, for our first strike to duplicate our stage 1 Pokemon. Mirage Step is the same as your water duplicates, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that already. Water duplicates Frogadier, I think it's Frogadier. Yeah, Frogadier. Allows you to search your deck for up to 3 copies of other Frogadiers and then bench them, same as your Mirage Step, obviously. And then you get to do Greninja on the next turn. The ability Water Shuriken, discard a water energy from your hand, place 3 damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. I think, no, my bad, not in any way you like. 3 damage counter on any one of your opponent's Pokemon. We actually got 2 Gardevoirs, look at that. I think we're just gonna put back... We're gonna leave the Gardevoir in our hand, all 3 copies, so that we get to evolve on the next turn. If they don't use a Marnie, we can actually Shining Arcana 3 times. So I think it's better just to keep all the Gardevoirs. It's definitely safer to have like a Bird Keeper or a Raihan in our hand, but I'm gonna keep all the Gardevoirs. You'll see later that I decided upon that. So we didn't get any pieces inside the prize. If we are drawing the prize card, make sure you are aware of that. Make sure you draw 4, 2, 6 if you put back, if 1, 3, 5 are not Morpeko, and if you have a Morpeko inside your prize, you have to draw the other prize, the other 3, try to draw out the other 3 with your knockouts. If you are intending on killing your opponent's Pokemon with Brainwave, we can actually do a knockout with Brainwave, or if you're not doing that, make sure you get your second Peonia with your Shining Arcana. So all you need to do is play 2 Peonias in a row to get those missing pieces, discard them, and play your V-Union. V-Union is quite tricky. So no Karina, look at that. They didn't have a Karina, but all they need is a VMAX on the next turn though. So searching actually gives them a free access to a free attacker. That means they can do the VMAX attack on the next turn while waiting for a support card. And 130 damage is actually enough to kill the Kirlia, but if we get another evolution though, we can actually survive. Oh, we can't because they did 50. So let's do research. So the Kirlia is definitely gonna die. Let's just keep the Gardevoir, keep the extra copy of Gardevoir. Whether it's in the prize or in the deck, we're not gonna evolve this Kirlia. Or we could actually retreat right now and then put forth the Ralts. Put the Ralts forth for the sacrifice, because they don't actually have a boss in their hand. Should definitely have done Karina's focus on last turn, but I don't think they have that supporter in their deck. I don't know. It's safer to play at least 1 or 2 copies inside a Rapid Strike deck. Karina doesn't draw much, but it does allow you to, summon it with your auxiliary. So it's actually a big deal. We're gonna retreat to Rocks and then pass the turn. So we don't have a Meowth in play, sadly. It's quite difficult to bring out that card just because we need our Ultra Balls for Gardevoir, we need Ultra Ball for Kirlia, Level Ball and Quick Ball are the only ways to get your Meowth other than that Ultra. Pokekit, we have that as well. But it could actually be inside your prize also. And if it's inside your prize for way too long, I don't think you could use it at all in a game, but that's okay. We just need our other random discarders, Milo, Zinnia, to help out with the V-Union discard. Okay, Shining Arcana. We got a breeder. We can actually get another Gardevoir. Are we gonna do that? We're gonna draw until we get the second piece. There we go. We actually got the second piece. And we can play a Zinnia to draw 4 cards. Or we can actually do Bird Keeper and Ultra Ball. But we decided to do Zinnia. Because Bird Keeper is not gonna help us. We don't have any basic Pokemons on the bench that are able to be sacrificed. So nothing for the sacrifice means we are forced to do a retreat a second time if we want to keep that Kirlia. So let's discard the Peonia. We should be discarding the Peonia, right? Do we have all pieces discarded? I forgot to check. Maybe we need the Peonia, I'm not sure. So we discarded those, and now we need to discard another piece. We have a Rod for this list, so this is another different list. This is like version 2, which is the mid, the mid upgrade. Not the final upgrade. So we can actually save the Kirlia right now. If they kill the Gardevoir with the boss, we can Rod Pokemon Breeder, but we actually discarded the Breeder, so we can't do that anymore. We can get another Ultra Ball for the second Gardevoir though. For the final Gardevoir, my bad. So we got the V-Union, but we can't summon it right now because we have no Shining Arcana left. We can actually choose to do Escape Rope, Union Gain, but it only allows you to attach Lightning Energy, my bad. So we can't do Union Gain for this deck just because we have no Lightning Energies. We are playing mostly Psychic Energy cards in this deck. For Gardevoir to do, for Kirlia to do Mirage Step fast enough, we need a lot more Psychic than our Lightning. And if we play a lot of Lightning, then we get to do Union Gain, just because it only allows you to attach from the discard pile Lightning Energy cards, so it's type specific. Union Gain is type specific. Okay, we got Incense and Rod, so that means had they done a boss to kill the Gardevoir, they can't kill the Gardevoir though, surprisingly, because they are playing Blaziken. Max Blaze only does 130 damage, not enough, just like the Dragapult. Kind of the same as Dragapult, not quite enough to kill off the Gardevoir. So they are forced to kill the Kirlia before it evolves. And now we get to do our first VMAX knockout. Our first knockout actually with Morpeko. All we need is 2 more energies. We got 1. Are we going to play the Recycler right now? I think it's better to. We should do like a Milo and then Recycler. Oh, we did Escape Rope Boss, I think. We chose to do Escape Rope, which could be a big mistake because I don't think it's wise to do that. We should be keeping our Escape Rope, definitely. We actually decided to kill off the Zeraora. Interesting. Because they can do a bench kill So Zeraora can actually help them do like double knockout if they do a boss. Oh, they can't kill the active though. It's only 100 damage, right? Only 100 damage on the active. So Zeraora can kill the bench Gardevoir. We want to be removing that option to force them to bench another copy to attach another energy a second time. That means they are forced to play Max Blaze now. Unless if they pull a Raihan, if they pull a Raihan and Tower of Waters, they can actually do Cross Fist, which is gonna be quite annoying. But no Raihan, there we go. They got Brawly for Urshifu, Blaziken, and Zeraora. So now we are forced to do Shining Arcana, Recycler, so Raihan is not gonna help out. We have very few HP remaining, so this is gonna be quite scary. I think we're gonna have to kill the last prize, kill for the last prize with the Gardevoir. So that means Morpeko is not surviving the next turn. We're gonna have to let it go and do a VMAX knockout this turn. Prepare for we did a boss though. That means if they put anything on the active spot that we can't kill with Gardevoir, we need to play Escape Rope, but we already played it just now. So that's why I said don't play boss and Escape Rope in a single turn. That's just very stupid because you're wasting your resources. If they have like 2 VMAXs though, if they have a VMAX in the active spot and on the bench, you can't actually do a knockout that easily. But Gardevoir is actually a psychic type. That means if they are playing Urshifu on the active spot, we can kill it with Brainwave. Brainwave can kill Urshifu quite easily. So the only thing that can tank, that can survive our Gardevoir is a Blaziken. And I don't think benching another V card is gonna avoid the knockout. Unless if they play a Mustard for another VMAX. So anything is possible. They could do a Mustard with Octillery and then retreat to the VMAX. If we do Escape Rope, they're gonna put the other Blaziken out. So it's gonna be quite weird. We actually did triple energy attachment with 3 Gardevoirs, and now we get to do Peonia for the luxury to see what we have at the 436 of our price. We got a Big Charm, that's great. I'm gonna put the Big Charm on our Morpeko. Let's put the things that we don't need, the things that we have excess of. 1 Bird Keeper, 1 Pokekid. We don't need a Gardevoir, I don't think, because we don't have a routes in our bench, on our bench. Burst Wheel for 3 triple prize draw this turn, and then on the next turn we just need to kill anything. We don't have any more boss though. I'm repeating myself again, sorry guys. Okay, now we just need to do Energy Recycler, Shining Arcana, Brainwave, and that's it. They're probably gonna kill off the Gardevoir with a lot of energy, so now we can only hope for either Morpeko to survive, or it's definitely gonna survive, right, with Big Charm, because Crossface only does 100 damage, sadly. If they boss the Gardevoir, I don't think it's possible, because they can't kill the Gardevoir if they boss it. Quite possibly they could kill the Morpeko though if they do a Tool Scrapper and oh, if they do a boss though, they can kill because they have Passimian. So Passimian actually does that extra 30 damage, 160 plus 160 from Blaziken, plus 30 from Passimian is just nice to kill off, well, more than enough to kill off our Morpeko. On the bench though. And then we got 3 Gardevoirs remaining for a knockout. So had they killed our Morpeko on the last turn, they got still 1 prize remaining, and we just need to kill them off with our Gardevoir. So we decided to do our Burst Wheel for the final knockout, because we actually could do that. We have the luxury. With our Raihan as well, we did so many energies. We attached so many energies. We got to do 600 damage to kill a V card. 600, yo! So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy your life.